President Trump defended the H-1B visa program in an interview this week, saying there aren't enough qualified American workers to fill available jobs. But critics say the steep new fees Trump has imposed could end the program. Meanwhile, China has launched a new K visa that reportedly offers a quicker, more flexible route into research or entrepreneurship in China. Now, could Trump's tightened immigration policies drive talent to China? Joining us now is retired U.S. Navy Captain Armin Kurdian. He's also a foreign policy and national security analyst, as well as a California State Senate candidate. Thank you so much for joining us, Armin.
Thanks, Arlene.
So the White House has proposed a new H-1B system that favors higher skilled workers. And meanwhile, China has launched this new K visa program that targets young science tech graduates. And it also touts looser application requirements. So does the U.S. need the H-1B visa to compete with China in critical industries?
Well, frankly, if the U.S. education system were in a much better shape than it is right now, it wouldn't be such an issue. But frankly, we need the H-1B visa program because we are not producing quality graduates. And it's starting, in elementary schools. You see a lot of areas in this country with school boards that have been taken over by ideologues instead of folks who are actually concerned and serious about actually teaching kids the skill sets they need to prepare for the future, including critical thinking, which is exceptionally lacking. So we need to attract talent from all over the world. Now, the U.S. allows 65,000 of these immigrants to come in on an annual basis, and we always have more applicants that are actually there. So perhaps it's something that we could look at actually expanding and growing that actual number.
Now, President Trump has stated that the U.S. doesn't have enough skilled talent to take on jobs that require these high-level skills. And Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent recently talked about this dilemma. So let's watch.
There's 20, 30 years we have offshored precision manufacturing jobs. And the president's point here is, we can't snap our fingers and say, you're going to learn how to build ships overnight. We want to bring semiconductor industry back to the U.S. So I think the president's vision here is to bring in overseas workers where these jobs went.
Who have skills.
Who have the skills, 3, 5, 7 years to train the U.S. workers. Then they can go home, the U.S. workers fully take over.
Now, Armin, you're a Navy veteran, so how important is this H-1B visa to American shipbuilding?
Oh, it's hugely critical. And that's actually an excellent example, because if you want to look back, remember during the drawdown post-Soviet Union collapse, we had a lot of nuclear submarines, we had a lot of ships, and we were, the peace dividend, so we don't need to build as many. But the shipbuilding industry told the government, look, you can't just stop buying ships. You need to keep building them. You need to keep buying them because we have labor that we got to keep working. They have to keep up their skill sets. They got to keep working. So the drawdown took a while. So we basically had to keep building ships, albeit at a slower pace, even though we might have necessarily need them specifically. But had we just stopped cold turkey for a couple of years, then it's very, very hard to stand up. Now, the United States, if I remember correctly, can build maybe 0.1% of the world's merchant marine capacity. Japan, Finland, some of these other seafaring nations are spitting these things out like popcorn, and it is just a very heavy lift for us to do it. There is some effort afoot to bring shipbuilding here to the state of California, but frankly, we need shipbuilding all over this country. We are surrounded on two sides by vast oceans, and the fact that we have to buy a lot of our commercial shipping from other countries is a really, really bad problem. But it's not just shipbuilding, it's cybersecurity, it's engineering, it's medical, it's biophysics, it's all of these things that we're not producing in-house.
So let's go back to what Scott Bessent said. He said that the top talent will come in, train Americans, and then companies will let them go. Now, how likely do you think that will happen?
Well, I think it's definitely possible. I mean, if you're talking about bringing, external talent, like, for example, if they're building ships at a very rapid pace around the world, then certainly let's learn from them and let's build up our industry. Shipbuilding requires very highly skilled labor, welders, metal workers, engineers, all types of engineers, mechanical, civil, to put these kinds of things together. So, and that's union jobs. that's non-union jobs. This is the kind of thing that you need. It's a national security issue when you lose the ability to build things in your own country. And we saw that during COVID. So just because we're having them come over here and train us how to do it, that's not a bad thing at all. In fact, I think that's great. The United States has exported its talent in other parts of the world. When we built the Japanese economy up post World War II, and now we see that they're thriving. They got a few economic issues, but they're doing very, very well. And they've surpassed us in many, many ways. So if you can learn and you can apply those skill sets and expand the economy, that's what the free market is all about.
So let's talk about this new requirement. There's now an application fee of $100,000, and critics are saying the high cost will actually end the program completely and damage major U.S. industries. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think we'll have to see how many applicants we actually get and actually don't get, whether that fee can actually be deferred over a longer period of time, say, over 10 or 15 years. And if it's one fee up front, that might be challenging. Perhaps, we're also targeting some folks who are already established in other countries, not necessarily folks who have recently graduated from college in other countries that are bringing that talent over here. Maybe there are some people who can pay that. We also have set-asides, if I remember right, I think with Chile and Singapore. I hope I got that correct in terms of the H-1B visa program. If those don't get used up, that goes into the broader general pool. Obviously, if we see the number of H-1B visas drop us significantly, then that fee is obviously too expensive, and we're going to have to roll it back. But I have a feeling that if we can show, especially under the Trump economy, that a lot of people want to come here. You've seen how many hundreds of billions of foreign direct investment has been announced under this administration. So that is a very positive sign for us and for the world. And if that continues, we're going to need the people to make that thing go.
Now, getting back to this U.S.-China competition here, if the U.S. has tightened its policies with this $100,000 fee, do you think that is providing Beijing with an opportunity to position itself globally?
Very possibly. A lot of countries that are, say, more neutral, India, Pakistan, other countries that maybe are not necessarily aligned with the U.S. or China ideologically, that could very well happen. China has a voracious appetite for cybersecurity engineers, software engineers. They're really trying to catch up to the U.S. Industrial advantage. And, we here in the United States have a shortage of well over 500,000 cybersecurity jobs. If that talent starts going to China, that is also a national security issue. Folks are choosing China over us, and we need to monitor that very, very carefully. Everything has to be done in balance and with careful analysis and assessment. But China has been doing this for a very, very long time. This is not something that's new. This is just another facet to their goal to become the dominant world economic power.
I think you're right when you say we need some balance here. Armin Kurdian, retired Navy captain, thank you so much for joining us.
Happy Saturday, Arlene.